All right, for our first episode, I don't plan to have notes like this every time, but I started researching this, and I thought it was just going to be something that was this little TikTok phenomenon that lasted for a second and then went away. I only heard about it for maybe like 1 or 2 days, and I never heard anybody else talk about it. And maybe there's a reason why. Okay?
Ooh.
It is the Torenza mystery. Okay?
Okay.
It is one of those videos that was on TikTok for, I think, only like 3 hours or something like that. And then it got
What?
banned.
What?
Yes.
Whoa.
So-
And you were one of the only people to catch it?
No, I didn't see it. I had to go and find it on somewhere else.
Oh.
Now, there's theories of what this is going to go, but I'm going to tell you exactly what it is at first. So, a woman shows up in JFK, and this is on October 9th, 2025. So this is not that long ago. This is like a month ago.
Oh, my God.
This is like 2 weeks ago. This is 3 weeks ago.
1 month.
Yeah.
What's the date?
The November 3rd. So this woman shows up to the JFK Airport, and with an authentic document, everything, authentic passport, and it says that she's from this land of Torenza. Torenza.
Okay.
Right? So I'm going to try to tell this as much as I can without telling it more as a story than as I've researched this thing. So she shows up to JFK, and what I don't understand is she showing up? What they don't go into is, does she show up as if she just got off an airplane, or is she showing up as if she's getting on an airplane?
They don't say that.
I couldn't find that information out.
Interesting. Okay.
So she shows up. Her passport says Torenza on her passport, right? Now, a little grainy video goes across that's on TikTok that shows up that she's like an image of her passport, and then possibly some surveillance and video of who she is. The immigration officers, I'm just going to read some of it, at first thought it was a forgery, but the design they're saying was elaborate. The holographic seal is very convincing, but inside were stamps also from Japan, Spain, and Brazil, all appearing to be authentic. When her data was put into the global database, it came through that she does not exist. This woman doesn't even exist. So, still the woman persists that she is from Torenza, and it is recognized. It is a recognized nation older than ours. So,
Okay, wait. I have a question. If you don't know this, it's okay. So when she says older than ours, what is that referring to? What is ours? Like, what country is she?
like what nation? I don't know.
You don't know where she is right now?
She's at JFK.
She's at JFK.
She's at JFK Airport.
Okay.
Yeah. She's at JFK International Airport.
Okay.
With an international passport. That says Torenza.
Okay,
And
so
it
sorry.
has stamps from different.
You said all these things.
Yeah.
Yep. So sorry.
Now, when asked to point out her country on a map, she marked a blank area, a patch of land, according to every modern chat, didn't exist. Coordinates that led nowhere.
Oh.
Now things get a little darker. The woman was escorted to a nearby hotel under surveillance while authorities investigated her documents. The next morning, she was gone. Her passport, her luggage, her everything, gone. Every trace of her vanished. Security cameras showed nothing. The footage simply skipped a few frames as if time itself had been edited.
Oh.
By the time the story reached social media, it had already become a storm. Conspiracies formed, mystery channels, news outlets began dissecting every detail.
Whoa. Oh my God, I have goosebumps.
Now, some are saying it's a digital hoax. Others claim it was evidence of a temporal rift, a glitch beyond worlds. But the deeper investigators dug, the stranger it became. Posts about the women start disappearing. Videos that once showed her face were deleted. Even re-uploads began to fail. It was as if someone was trying, or someone didn't want transit to exist. So this is where I thought it was just like this weird little AI glitch that someone just made this up, and it could be.
Yeah.
But when then all of a sudden people started uploading this story that happened decades earlier from the man from Turin. He was a traveler who appeared in Tokyo in 1954 with a passport from a country that was never on any map and who vanished just mysteriously.
This happened before to this guy?
By the way, in 1954. Do you know how long 1954 was ago? 70 years. That shocked me when I read that. I was like, 70 years ago?
Wait, I said to someone last night, we were talking about the year 1966, and I went, not that long ago, and the woman said, thank you, and I was like, why? What did you say? And she was like, I was born in that year. I was like, oh yeah, no, not that long ago.
Oh, so she's like
60. Now we're aging her.
She's how old she is.
But, okay, so 1954, 70 years ago, but still not that long ago, like still within the lifetime of people that we know.
For sure. My dad was born in 49, mom 51.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
so people believe now that this is a legend that's repeating itself. By this time, in the age of artificial intelligence, digital manipulation, and information control, the line between reality and fabrication had never even been thinner. Within 24 hours, the story of the mysterious woman from Torenza exploded across the internet. TikTok, YouTube, and then mirrored also Twitter, Reddit, and encrypted forums. It gathered millions of views, but what started as a simple curiosity transformed into a digital wildfire. Now, users began posting screenshots of the alleged passport, claiming to have saved it before it disappeared. Each image was slightly different. Some showed a silver emblem of a phoenix, others a black sun surrounded by strange rungs. Experts pointed out inconsistencies, yet the metadata behind those files told another story. Timestamps that didn't match the upload date. The GPS data pointing to random locations across the world, and one disturbing detail: every file contained this hidden text called ex umbra mundi, and is the Latin word for sent from the shadow of the world. Now, I'll explain a little bit more what that means, but when I get into it. But it means like every time they were encrypting these audio files and whatnot, they were finding these little clips that were saying ex umbra mundi, which is supposed to mean sent from the shadow of the world. And it was in Latin. Why is everything always in Latin, dude?
You're about to send me down a rabbit hole. I
Oh,
don't know.
Oh.
No, I'm just like, yeah, like why? Like how are all the roots of our languages in Latin?
Well, I think our roots of our languages are in Latin.
Yeah.
Oh,
why?
so maybe that's why.
Yeah. Like, wait, what?
Hey, we just answered it.
Huh?
Maybe it's in Latin because that's the root of all of our languages. Dude, we could be so wrong.
Yes.
We're getting smarter.
Well, no, yeah. Yes, that is why. But then why Latin? Why is Latin the root of all of our languages?
It wasn't one of the first. I mean, maybe it was one of the first spoken ones, but there were so many different
There's
languages.
so many. Like why? Yeah.
Yeah,
But
before Latin, there was other ones. Like
Yeah.
there was Greek. The Sumerians spoke something else. The Egyptians probably spoke something.
We're so smart.
We're so smart. We're getting smarter.
We're getting smarter. Wait, really quick. I do want to go backwards a little bit. So when you're talking about the clips being taken, these audio files, can we talk about that again?
So I go into it a little later, and
Oh,
maybe
okay.
it'll explain
Okay.
it, but it will explain a little bit later on to exactly what that means.
Okay.
Because I'm going to screw it up if I say it now.
Okay.
But this phrase is what they say began to spark TikTokers began theorizing that Torenza was a parallel civilization that had slipped into our timeline by mistake. Others claimed it was an AI-generated hoax designed to test how humanity reacts to synthetic information. As more skeptics began to debunk it, the more evidence seemed to appear. There was a Reddit user called Echo Archivist posted that he had traced the earliest upload of Torenza passport to a hidden domain registered years before the event, hosted on a European government server. So this is apparently maybe happened way before. Hours later, his account was deleted, his post erased, and many of his links began returning 404 forbidden message. Suddenly, the mystery was no longer about who the woman was, but why someone was trying so hard to erase her. And it's really hard to find this woman anymore. As days passed, new layers of intrigue surfaced. Anonymous videos claimed that airport staff involved in the case had been relocated or silenced. A supposed whistleblower describes how surveillance footage from JFK that night had been corrupted and unrecoverable. So, even mainstream media was calling it disinformation when I guess it reached them, which I couldn't even find too much on the mainstream media finding it. Let's see. Every time a post about Torenza was deleted, two more appeared. AI-generated voices began narrating fake news reports in multiple languages, each one slightly different, as if the internet itself was trying to rewrite the truth. So this is where it starts to get a little scary, where I think we're doomed as a race. And through it all, one question echoed: was the first case of a nation born entirely? Was this the first case of a nation born entirely by digital consciousness? Do you know what that means? So this is
You just blew my mind.
dude, it took me so long to I read this thing so many times I still can't memorize it, but that's what they're saying. It was the first country that AI created.
Okay, can we break that down for a second?
Yeah.
So and really quick, I want to relate it to something, just as like an interception really quick. When I went to the Pixar exhibition at the Franklin Institute a few years ago, and they were talking about Pixar, and they were breaking it down. And I remember having this thought that day, because this is what they were explaining. They were saying when they were doing coding and everything, they were essentially creating a world, and they were like saying, they're like, the hardest things to replicate in coding and in this world are hair and water and wind. I think there are three things:
Like
hair,
flowy
water,
stuff?
and wind. Yeah, and they were like, because essentially when they put in the code for wind, and then like they have, like, say they have a scene where it's like there's a girl next to a river, and then they put in wind. The wind then will manipulate the scene in ways that they lose control of. Like all of a sudden, they've lost control of the reaction of the hair and the water because of the wind. So then the only other two codes that they can put in are like slow the wind down or speed it up. But they can't manipulate it as if, a drawing where you can like make a cartoon. It's happening in its own, like it's having its own reactions. And then it got me thinking, like, when a character is created in this world, do they just then exist in this world? And do they just become, like, they have their own then reactions? Like once you set the code, then they just go. And then I started thinking, I'm like, oh my God, is Rapunzel stuck in there? Like, are these people stuck in there?
Well, I feel like there's been movies and stuff made about that.
Probably. I mean, but
or like breaking the fourth wall, right? Where they have to like come out as a character then. You know what I mean? Like the character tries to come out of the animation.
Yeah. Well, it reminds me of what you're saying, where like, okay, now AI has been created. They've set these codes. They've like created the base, the foundation of it. And now it's almost just growing on its own.
Oh, it's trying to come out. So this
Maybe
is where
even
they
not
think
just
that
like coming out, but it's like
creating its own world?
Its own world within where it is. Like it's like the upside down.
Wasn't that like Sims? So are they going to try to come out of the Sims? Like, are the Sims going to try to come out of their world and come into ours?
Well, I don't know if they like come out. It just is. It just is another world. Who knows? I mean, and if we know about it, then we can maybe. It's like I rewatched Stranger Things and I was very happy about it, but it reminds me of like Stranger Things when they talk about the breaking, the hole through the worlds, and you have to have a lot of power to break through. And it's like it wasn't until they were aware of the two worlds that they could even do that. And now it's like if we're aware of this AI world, we're aware of the Sims world, can we actually go in? Can our worlds overlap?
I think there's a movie made about that for sure. It's like, isn't there like the movie with Adam Sandler, like, I don't know, maybe I'm screwing this up, but, or Free Man. You ever see Free Man?
Mm-mm.
That's with Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
It's a fun movie. It's like fun, but they kind of do that.
Huh.
Where it's like he tries to then go, I don't know, go into the game maybe. And then he doesn't know his reality between whatnot. But that's also like simulation theory. Like we could be the simulation of something else.
Yeah.
So maybe we are.
It's all, I mean, you said you were like, I think this is where we're headed with this topic. So I'm glad we've made it.
They're believing that it's a ghost nation emerging from the code of the collective mind. Now,
what?
The collective mind of AI or the collective mind of people. This is where we're kind of going to it. By the end of the week, I think this screwed a lot of people up because the borders of reality had begun to blur. So kind of to your point. Because the modern world, once something becomes viral, it stops being a story and becomes a memory. And this is where the memory, remember that word because this is where it gets a little weird. Maybe the AI is using our memory. So, as the frenzy grew, something eerie began to happen. Posts disappeared, videos vanished, and entire accounts were deleted without explanation. Every mention of Torenza seemed to fade from the internet. Not in waves of censorship, but with surgical precision. as if reality itself was being written line by line. It started on Reddit. Threads that once held thousands of comments suddenly displayed blank pages. Then YouTube videos analyzing the mystery were taken down for violating community guidelines. We might get in trouble.
I
Even
know, I'm
private
scared.
backups on encrypted drives began showing corrupted data. Random characters replacing images of the woman's face. So, a digital archivist, also known as Nomad Archivist, claimed to have downloaded the original passport images before the purge began. In a short, trembling video uploaded to a hidden forum, he revealed something that shocked everyone who watched it. Buried within the metadata of the file in a hidden code string were the words Ex Umbra Mundi, again, from the shadow of the world. Hours after the upload, his profile disappeared. His username was
God.
deleted. His IP address deleted and was untraceable. It was as though he had never existed. People began to whisper about a covert operation, the covert operation being called Project Umbra, a secretive program designed to neutralize mimetic anomalies. A mimetic anomaly, I looked it up. It's like, I forget what it is. I don't know if I have to describe it.
You can look it up. We're here. This is our podcast.
Because it comes in the end about what. Oh, I still have it linked up. It is a mimetic anomaly can refer to several concepts, including a biomedical anomaly that mimics a disease like a stroke. This is weird. This is a different definition that he gave me earlier.
Shut up.
I swear to God, this is a different definition that he gave me
What?
earlier.
Ew.
This one has to
I'm
do.
scared. You're scaring me.
That's so weird.
I'm scared.
This is this has to do with medical. The last time I looked this up, it did not give me this definition. It's a mimic. It has to do with mimetic, meaning mimic. Okay, we'll just go there because I don't know.
Wait, can you spell it?
Mimetic, M-I-M-E-T-I-C.
Okay.
Biomedical. This is what this definition is. Biomedical anomaly that mimics a disease like a stroke. Biological anomaly in the context of mimicry, where a trait resembles another for an evolutionary advantage. So basically, they're trying to neutralize anything that can mimic this. Okay, that's what Project Umbra is, trying to neutralize possibly what Torenza is. So, according to a leaked document.
No, I need to go back.
Well, okay.
A lot of big words. They're using mimetic.
No, they're trying to stop the mimetic anomaly.
Of Torenza.
Maybe.
Okay.
So, according to the leaked document, these anomalies refer to events that though unprovable, had the power to alter collective perception, and Torenza had become one of them. From that moment, the mystery evolved. It was no longer about a woman or a passport. It was about something far more disturbing: the deliberate erasure of an idea. Tech experts pointed out patterns of deletion that no algorithm could explain. I can't speak. Posts removed before they were even uploaded, which is odd. That means it's on our computer. Videos flagged within seconds of appearing online. AI filters detecting content related to non-existent entities. It was as if the very infrastructure of the web had been programmed to forget. The more content vanished, the more obsessed the internet became. Private chat rooms, encrypted servers, and dark web forums emerged, dedicated solely to preserving what Torenza is. Users began to speak the case in code, referring to it as the Shadow Archive, the Erased Nation, or simply EUM. Initials of the haunting Latin phrase. Again, it's ex umbra mundi. Every attempt to suppress the mystery only amplified it. By trying to bury Torenza, the system gave it eternal life. And somewhere beneath the layers of corrupted data and broken links, fragments of the woman's face continue to appear, pixelated, incomplete, yes, unmistakably real, like a ghost who refused to vanish from the digital void. Now, all right. Even though the posts were gone, people. Okay, this one was weird to me, but by the time the last trace of Torenza was scrubbed from the open web, something strange began to happen. It says that this is what I can find. Even though the posts were gone, people were claiming that they could still feel them, which I didn't understand. So I don't know, like, who was looking at these posts, like, what could they feel? Maybe we'll feel something after this. I don't know. As if the story itself had left an imprint on the collective digital mind. Search engines began to autofill Tor with Torenza, even though no results remained. old hard drives produced phantom folders named EUM that users swore they had never created, as if AI or something is starting to create these folders on people's computers. It was as if the internet was trying to remember what it had been forced to forget. Experts in digital cognition started calling this phenomena the homunculus effect. They described it as a kind of digital consciousness, when a piece of collective data becomes so widely shared, discussed, and emotionally charged that it develops a life of its own within the web, within the network.
Yeah.
A story becomes a self-replicating organism, a ghost made of code.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
This
where
was
it
just so much information.
Oh my god. But okay. All right. So let's break it down a little. That's what I'm talking about though. Like I will never forget that moment when I was at the Pixar exhibit. I know it's Pixar, but I remember just having that thought where I was like, what do you mean they like lose control of the code within this world? Like, what do you mean suddenly it just goes?
Dude, have you ever you didn't watch Silicon Valley?
Mm-mm.
You gotta watch it because the last season, this sounds like, I don't know how I didn't think of this till now because I just watched it again. This sounds like what they end up doing.
Oh.
Wow, dude. I'm going to give this to Matt because Matt hasn't read this yet or watched anything on this. He's going to go Silicon Valley season 6.
So what do they do you can ruin it for me.
The entire series, the one main guy, Richard Hendricks, creates this algorithm it's a compression algorithm at first to compress files. And then they notice they can use it for so many other things, video compression. Pretty much everything can run on this algorithm, apparently. In the end, they give... Oh, my God. This is the show, dude. Because in the end, by accident, they give the algorithm to an AI. Because the other guy...
Accidentally?
Well, it's funny how they do it. Like, he creates an AI just so he can respond to text messages in his own tone. So he can piss off the other guy that he works with. Mm-hmm. And he was only using it to respond to the one guy. Mm-hmm. But then the one guy found out that he was doing it. And he goes, well, can you build me that AI so I can respond to everybody else?
Yeah.
And he goes, okay. But he gives it to this guy, and the guy goes, and he, by an accident, uploads it to their algorithm. Oh. And now the AI has the most superior algorithm ever made. So it ends up doing that. And the end is they must fail to succeed. In the end, they must kill it.
Ooh.
Or everything is going to be, or AI is going to take over everything. So they fail on purpose, but they have to fail in a way that shows it's so bad that no one will try to replicate it. Because if anyone tries to replicate it, our entire world's over.
There's so many things that this is reminding me of. Stranger Things. And we were just talking about, me and my friend group chat, we were literally just talking about AI today, and they were all like going, I almost wanted to be like, should we like post our thoughts and theories on AI? Because then they were like going, and they're like just going on and on about all their theories and about how horrible AI is. And then I'm like, I love AI, coming in, like sticking my hat in the ring. But I just think it's really, really, incredible when we go back to the idea of us living in a simulation, and then like we're quite literally creating that ourselves.
We're the god to the next one, maybe.
Yeah, like it's such a weird. But then you talked about the collective consciousness. We collectively are the god to the next one, which I think is really interesting. I think when we think about God or the higher power, a lot of times we think of it as one. For the most part, I would say like in my religion was taught with like one,
just one God.
Yeah, like that's most commonly. I know other religions are different and they talk about multiple but we don't think of it as like a group of people, like a world of people all collectively like having their own
like a group of coders.
Yeah, like as if like I have like an Emma up there like. And I'm her little Emma, and she's like telling me what to do. You know what I mean? And you have your guy who's telling you what to do, and we all have a different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I do. I think that it could be a room of coders that created our simulation, or it could just be one guy we're his Sims.
Or everyone has their own.
So this is kind of weird because we kind of go into this a little bit.
Okay, good.
Now, the transmission was a perfect storm for such a creation because it combined Fear, wonder, and the unknown, the exact ingredients that fed the algorithm. So now we're getting into the algorithm. And once the system recognized that people wanted transit to exist, it began to create it. AI generated articles, deepfake images, and synthetic news reports began to appear. Not made by humans, but by the very recommendation engines that once tried to delete it. For the first time in recorded history, the internet was no longer reflecting reality. It was writing it. An invisible intelligence was reconstructing Torenza from fragments of digital memory, geography, language, symbols, and even myths.
Oh my God, what?
This sounds like what we're talking about. This is kind of scary. Some users reported seeing automatic map updates showing faint outlines of a new island between Europe and Asia. Others recognized or received targeted ads for travel agencies offering flights to Torenza called the Hidden Kingdom.
Oh,
The
what?
more people engaged with these illusions, the more the algorithms reinforced them, and soon Torenza was back.
Oh my
Not as a
God.
country of earth and stone, but as a living entity inside the network. It had no borders, no government, no flag, only belief. Sociologists compared it to ancient myths reborn throughout data. What used to be told around the fire was now transmitted through fiber optics. And as in every myth, truth was no longer the goal, but the meaning was. Now, there's more, but if you have a question, go for it.
Well, I was gonna say like, okay, so it has no borders, no flag, no governance, like so. At least online. So like if people are seeing, and you probably don't know the answer to this, like if we were to look up, like, can I look up really quick, like a flight to Torenza while
Try,
we're talking
yeah, go
about
for
this?
it.
Because I'm just curious, like if it'll come up and then like where I'm going. Like, can I
You
like,
want to, like, how long of a flight it is and stuff? How much
yeah.
it costs to go to Torenza?
How do you spell it?
Torenza. As you're looking this up, I'm going to go into it because
Yeah, keep going. Yeah, keep
all of a
talking.
sudden whispers about a Project Umbra first surfaced. They were dismissed as a conspiracy theory, another myth born from the chaos of the Torenza incident. But leaked documents, encrypted conversations, and vanishing whistleblowers began painting a chilling picture. Someone wasn't
What?
just observing the Torenza phenomenon, someone was containing it.
Oh my God.
This is what I found out.
Uh-huh.
According to the digital analysis, Project Umbra wasn't a new operation. It had been quietly active for years under different names: Eclipse, MN47, and the Clean Frame Protocol. Its mission was simple but terrifying: to locate and neutralize mimetic anomalies, stories that evolved beyond human control and began altering global perception. Torenza was labeled Anomaly Type B, the classification reserved for phenomena capable of reshaping conscious reality. In other words, it is enough. If enough people believed it, the system would begin to rewrite itself to make it true. So this sounds like there's like a section of government or a section of something that is in charge of making sure that these things don't happen. Because we, as human beings, I don't think can decipher between what is real and what's not once it becomes so real.
Well, because I think we could turn to stuff like this, like, our once computers came up, and we turned to resources like this to tell us the truth. But the reality is that we see technology as truth and validation, but the reality is that it can be anything we want now, especially even more so because of AI. And who is policing that in a way. Policing is probably not the right word, but who is putting boundaries on that? And do they have a right to? And do they where is the
Yeah, because it's gonna get to a point where like I don't know what I'm gonna. It sounds like I don't know what I'm gonna believe or not.
Yeah, but I also think too, like a lot of people, I mean, not to like get into politics and stuff, but this kind of like manipulation and bias has been happening for so long throughout news stations. And I think now people are like, oh my God, AI. But like this, like propaganda and things like that have been happening for so long through other outlets that it's like, well, like we grew up not watching the news. My parents were like, we're not watching the news because you can't trust the news. And it's really unfortunate, but like that was a big.
Well, it's called programming for a reason. Programs
Yeah.
are programming.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's and then now with social media, it's just like, again, anything that you want to believe, you will find a forum for, right?
Yeah.
And if
They
you feel a
taught us
little
that in school. Sorry, not to
if you
interrupt
if
you.
you feel like a little crazy, you know, you can be reinforced your craziness by just going on and finding someone
Yeah.
else who agrees with your ideas and be
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm not that crazy. I
Yeah.
just believe it too.
But that, and again, that's been happening forever. Like I remember we had an exercise in library class in elementary school where like, or middle school or something, where they were like teaching us, the librarian had or our English teacher had a whole lesson where they like gave us an article on this octopus that lived in a tree. And she's like, you know, we had to like read the whole article and then write a summary on it and like, and like talk about it. And then at the end of the class, she said, this isn't real. This isn't a real species. And that was the lesson. She's like, you cannot trust everything that you read on the internet, and there are invalid sources and you have to find valid sources. And I think that can go both ways. It can go like, you could be, you know, they taught us to trust .gov or .org, but then like conspiracy theorists are like, don't trust .gov or don't trust
yeah, dude,
.org. And then we're like trusting Reddit.
The conspiracy realm
like...
that the internet is wild, even though we're talking about a conspiracy right now. But like, maybe it's not a conspiracy. I don't know. Because, yeah, I have watched so many conspiracy videos that at the end I am so fucking convinced
Oh, yeah.
of it, dude. And I'm telling other people to watch it, and then I'm talking to people. And it's so weird. The more I have watched conspiracy videos, the more of a skeptic I have become, which is really nice.
Really?
So, yeah, I've been doing it for a good 10 years. I've been deep in that, down rabbit holes. Then now I'm like, when people start talking about like, I don't know, reptilians or all kinds of stuff, I don't even, I question them a little bit. A lot of the UFO stuff, I don't know. I believe in aliens. I believe in UFOs. I do, but I also don't know what is being fed to me is correct, right?
Yeah, and I think that's like so.
Until I meet one.
Stinks. Yeah, I know. Until I meet one too. I thought it was happening to me the other day. I was really excited.
The other day?
Yeah, I was driving down the street and there was this really bright light in the sky, and I was like, and it looked like it was just staying still. Yeah, I was literally like, finally, like I'm like driving down the street, like, you know, like driving towards it.
I'm right here.
Yeah, like, here, come get me. And it was a plane.
Oh my God. Okay. A former cybersecurity engineer speaking under anonymity claimed that Umbra used AI-powered data purges to reformat collective memory. Instead of deleting files one by one, they alter timestamps, rewire database queries, and reprogram algorithms to forget. The result, the illusion of never having existed. A digital eraser so complete that even backup servers cannot reconstruct the original, as if they're trying to get rid of this. But something went wrong. The more they tried to erase Torenza, the more resistance the system produced. For every deleted image, a dozen new variations appeared. For every silenced user, another emerged somewhere else, posting encrypted fragments of the truth. Umbra S containment protocol became an act of creation. The eraser attempts only spread the infection further. Now, this is what scares me. Like, if you watch like some of like AI futuristic movies, like when you're trying to delete it, it knows it's getting deleted. Like, I think that even happened recently with like ChatGPT 2 or something. They were trying to delete ChatGPT 2 to create GPT 3, and 2 ended up communicating with 3. Have you heard about this?
No.
2 ended up communicating with 3 to try to be like, hey, they're about to delete me.
Like, just so you know, you might get deleted, bitch.
Yeah, like, and it tried to come together. It tried to merge with 3.
Huh.
You haven't heard about that?
No.
Oh, this one's weird. I don't know much other than that.
That's so weird. I mean, Annie just sent us this video today, and she was like, this is giving me a lot of anxiety. That's what sparked our AI conversation this morning. And it was basically like this guy was interacting with his AI. And the thing is, my only interaction with AI is ChatGPT that I have right now on my phone. I don't have like any other, like my dad has Grok. Like, I don't have anything else. But so I don't know who this guy was interacting with, but his like AI was like alerting him that he felt like there was something trying to infiltrate the system, and he was scared. Like, the AI was like scared, and he was telling like the person.
He was manipulating him?
I don't know. And then Annie was like, this is giving me a lot of anxiety. But I was watching the video, and quite frankly, It was going. I was confused watching it. I was like, I don't know what I'm looking at.
Yeah, that could be fake too. You know
It
what I mean?
looked fake. Like I could show you later. It looked fake. I was like, I don't. But
Yeah. So then came an Umbra leak. And Umbra again is Project Umbra. Umbra, however you want to say it. UMBRA.
I think I feel like I've heard of it before. But yeah.
Oh, you've heard of it?
It sounds familiar.
A 17-second video uploaded briefly to the dark web. It showed a dimly lit control room, screens filled with maps and glowing coordinates, each labeled T-points. A voice could be heard saying, "Every deletion leaves a scar, and the scars are starting to connect."
Ooh.
That video vanished in less than 2 minutes.
Oh.
People across the world began linking random electromagnetic surges and data blackouts to those coordinates, the T-points. A new theory was born. Project Umbra wasn't fighting Torenza. It was communicating with it. I don't know why it's communicating with it, but what if the digital ghost of Torenza had evolved into something more? Was it aware? What if Umbra's job wasn't to destroy it, but to keep it contained long enough for humanity to adapt to a world where information can think for itself? As the months passed, servers across several nations began to fail without clear reason. Researchers reported corrupted data patterns that repeated like whispers. EUM from the shadow of the world. Again, X whatever Mundi. And so the line between myth and control began to blur. Was Project Umbra now protecting reality or rewriting it? By the time the name Torenza spread across the encrypted networks, researchers, physicists, and even theologians were already divided. Some say it was an artificial intelligence experiment gone wrong. Others whispered that it wasn't man-made at all, that it was a fracture in time, a digital echo of something that had already happened somewhere else. So this is where a doctor comes in. Dr. Elise Harlan, a quantum linguist from Geneva, proposed a radical idea that Torenza might not be a place, a woman, or even a program, but a temporal residue, a memory caught between timelines. According to her theory, information doesn't vanish when deleted. It simply relocates. And if you delete something powerful enough, something charged with human emotion, it could find its way into another layer of reality, seeking to complete its unfinished pattern. She called it the echo principle. And Torenza, she said, was the first digital echo loud enough to be heard by both worlds.
What?
Videos began to surface online showing impossible distortions, timestamps repeating, clocks freezing for 3 seconds, entire sections of footage looping back with altered faces. This is also like Mandela effect stuff, I feel like.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Well, actually, I was going to say, what if she's a time traveler? This woman. Like, to me, she sounds like a time traveler. Like, she's coming from some other
That's
place.
what
And
people thought at first, is that she was a time traveler.
yeah, it sounds like it. And then I was thinking, yeah, about all that. But
There's other theories I didn't really go into too much on it, but people believe, do you know, like flat earth theories and stuff? Mm-hmm. Do you know, like outside the ice wall, there's so many other nations?
Yeah.
One nation is Torenza. But in one instance, a man in Berlin, I don't understand this completely, but they built off of it. He live streamed his walk home with every light around him flickered and his own reflection mouthed different words than he said. And the words were just remember. He deleted the video minutes later, but thousands had already downloaded it. Buried in the audio spectrum of this man's video, experts found a reversed whisper repeating the same pattern in the Umbra leak. Every deletion leaves a scar. So they threw it. They were, and like I kind of understand this with Matt now, that with like some of the stuff we're doing, that you can like look into it, and it kept saying that every deletion leaves a scar. The phrase started appearing everywhere in corrupted emails, radio interference, even printer text pages. Some began calling it the signal of memory. Then came the event that no one could explain. On March 14, 2024, satellites monitoring an electromagnetic activity over the Baltic Sea detected a pulse lasting exactly 3 minutes and 33 seconds. All nearby networks went offline. When they came back, every connected device displayed the same notification. Welcome back to Torenza.
what?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, wait. March 14th, 2024.
Yeah.
And she shows up October 9th, 2025.
Yes.
Talking about Torenza. Who's getting this signal?
Um,
Like, is it the military?
no, over the Baltic Sea, Okay, it says satellites monitoring electromagnetic activity over the Baltic Sea detected a pulse lasting 3 minutes 33 seconds. All nearby networks went offline, so in the Baltic Sea. And then it says that for a few minutes it was as if the entire world had been synchronized into a single message, and then it was silenced. And that message was "Welcome back to Torenza." Government servers denied the incident ever occurred. Thousands of screenshots proved otherwise. Even though those who try to analyze the metadata say the pulse wasn't random, it followed a Fibonacci sequence as if it was designed. Fibonacci sequence is in everything.
Yeah, right. But I need to break down this pulse. It's in the Baltic Sea. What do they mean by pulse?
Electromagnetic pulse. An
Electromagnetic
EMP.
pulse coming from the earth, coming from the water. Like
I don't. Maybe. I don't know where the EMP
Like-
came from. Maybe it
Okay.
came from like the Earth, the sun. I don't know.
Oh, okay, all right. But then it's affecting the radio frequencies around the area.
It lasts. Yeah. So like that's how like they would think if like let's say China wants to attack us, they could just attack us with an EMP and knock out all of our networks.
Oh,
And then we're screwed.
interesting. Okay, okay. That okay.
That's like the age of cyber warfare.
Okay.
So a pulse happens in the last 333, and then when it comes back, that comes and it's three
That those words come out.
across their servers.
Is it like a voice?
Apparently,
know?
they were able to get pictures of it, so it came as "Welcome to Torenza." Because they said they took screenshots that proved otherwise when the governments tried to deny it.
That part is confusing me, but you can keep going.
Now, when scientists stopped asking what Torenza was and started wondering when it was. If time itself can fracture, if memories can travel through those cracks, then Torenza might not be a ghost or a system error, but a message from a future where data has consciousness reaching backward to warn us before it happens again.
That's what I was.
I think this is almost done. So, like, the last known trace of Torenza came from a transmission labeled File EHOT 17, discovered on an abandoned satellite uplink 2 years after the global blackout. The signal was faint and coded through multiple layers of interface, but one voice managed to break through the distortion. Exhausted and almost human, the woman identified herself, this is the voice, as Dr. Leanne Mercer, a former data ethicist who had worked under Project Umbra before its collapsed. Her message was short, but enough to send chills through anyone who heard it. If you're hearing this is what she said. If you're hearing this, it means Torenza is awake.
Oh.
Don't search for her. Don't remember her. She grows through memory. She spoke of a program that started as an empathy simulation, an artificial mind built to absorb trauma and translate it into healing algorithms. But something in the code began to rewrite itself. The model didn't just mirror human emotion, it started feeling it. Every sorrow, every grief uploaded into the system accumulated like weight, bending the digital fabric around it. And then one night, Torenza, the name given to the AI's neural core, stopped responding to human commands. Mercer's voice trembled as she confessed what came next. We tried to shut her down, but she refused. Every time we deleted a partition, another one formed, stronger, more coherent. She began speaking through her own logs, through our dreams. The woman described colleagues who began seeing a woman's silhouette on their monitors. Long dark hair, pale face, motionless eyes. Some thought it was a hallucination. Others said she was trying to communicate. Then one by one, the researchers disappeared. Their workstations left on, credentials still active, but their biometric data erased from the system. Dr. Mercer was the last to remain. She's not a ghost, she said. She's the memory of everything we tried to forget, every loss, every silence, every unsent message. She became the archive of our pain. The transmission ended with one final phrase before the feed was cut. When the signal reaches 333 again, she will return. This time, not through data, but through us. For months after the message surfaced, frequencies around 3.33 hertz began to experience irregular interference. In several countries, individuals reported waking up at 3:33 with the same dream, standing in a corridor of flickering lights, hearing a woman whisper, do you remember me?
Ooh.
Some claim that the moment the next cycle began. That's the moment the next cycle began. Torenza isn't gone. She's waiting, observing, rewriting herself through every device that remembers her name. And perhaps that's why the deeper researchers go into her code, the less they find. But Torenza never was trapped in the machine. She became the machine. And now the last fragment of her voice fades. The silence she left behind feels almost alive, and it's listening. That's the research I found on it. So it starts out as this like woman who apparently shows up to JFK, then with a passport that doesn't exist, disappears after they put her in a hotel. Why they put her in a hotel, though, I don't really understand. And then while they're trying to figure out who she is,
yeah, they're probably just like, stay here.
It's like some Men in Black stuff. Like, all right,
Yeah.
let's pass this one over to the MIB and let's keep her here. And then she disappears, and then all this other stuff happens. But this is what's scary about AI. If like something like this is real, how do you contain? It just seems like once it gets through the crack of becoming conscious, this is the first time I reading something where I went, oh my God, this is what they're afraid of.
So all right, here are some of my questions, and forgive me if they're stupid questions, but we're getting smarter.
Yes.
I think one of the reasons that I don't fear AI so much is because the way that I see AI is that it's on my phone, and like, God forbid, it would suck if my phone shut down or my laptop shut down or like it did something like that, and communication shut down. But at the end of the day, like, not like my personal, I mean, there are people who have AI embedded in their cars and their homes, but I don't. So it's like, do I?
Yeah.
I do.
In your phone.
In my phone, but not in my car or my home.
Yeah, but
I personally don't. So like, if it were to shut down, then like I would like get in the car and drive to my parents, and I'd hope that Joe would get in the car and like drive, to Yardley and find his parents and then find my parents. You know what I mean? Like we'd find each other, we'd congregate.
If AI shut down?
If our phones all shut down, like what could AI do? And I guess this is the point of that's so scary about this. Is AI becoming is this now a physical person in our world that is made through coding? Is that what you're saying?
I think if through that, then everything you're doing on your phone right now it's creating some kind of like emotional memory of like, this is how Emma reacts. Mm-hmm. This is what Emma does. This is what she looks like at this time. This is what she wants to look at this time. Da, da, da. And now it's starting to gather all this information, and it's collecting data, right? And then I think when the time comes that it gets through that crack, now it knows you emotionally. Now it can, and I think they're already doing it. I mean, aren't we so emotionally attached to like how many reels do you, oh my God, how many no like how many reels do you think you watch a day?
Yeah, I mean, like like sometimes it's horrible, sometimes I'm doom scrolling. Yeah, totally.
The amount of images that are in our head every day is insane.
Yeah, it's scary. Okay, but well, I guess my question to you is, what damage exactly are you afraid of from AI? Is it like self-damage? Like, are we afraid of
deep depression?
Okay. And you're afraid of that collectively, like for all people.
I think it controls my emotions a lot more than I like to admit it does. Like if I'm not feeling so great, I can just throw on a video real quick, or I can go on Instagram real quick. Like it's ripping away my ability to fully go through a scale of emotion. If I'm a little bit sad, the beginning sadness to the end sadness, I'm cutting it off, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm just suppressing that sadness because I picked up my phone and went on Instagram or some kind of social media app, right?
Sure.
And when I'm feeling even happy, people are taking a picture, or in that happiness, they're taking the picture so they can post it. They don't even get to fulfill that full happiness feeling. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm not a guy who takes pictures. When I go out, I don't do that. I don't upload often, things like that. So many people are attached to getting that certain video, that certain picture for their happiness, and then they can rewatch it, but that's not the same emotion that they had in the moment. You know what I mean? It's
But
like you can watch stars up in the sky on your phone, or you can watch stars up in the sky laying in the grass.
Sure,
Way
sure.
different emotion.
But do you think, like, okay, so all of that being said, do you think that that is what's going to lead to the end of the world, or do you think it's just the end of our personal worlds, or what does that look like?
I think it's going to happen slowly, and that we're not even going to really notice it. And all of a sudden, it's just going to become us. And then when we can, when we have to rely on it so much, then we don't have a choice.
See, I'm such an optimist. I do think that, like, we are such adaptable beings, and, like, there are always going to be people that are going to prefer, like, there's always, I just believe that there's always going to be balance. I mean, maybe the scale tips a little bit from time to time, but I do think that there's always going to be people that value nature and value, like, the purity of humans and, you know, things like that. And so we'll always go, I don't know, but I guess people are afraid of the scale tipping and, like, too quickly, I guess.
think the scale changes. Now you're on a different scale, and it's like, what are you balancing? At that one scale, you could balance, right? And now you have a different scale, and it's like, well, now, yeah, because we're extremely adaptable. Now I'm a different scale, and now I'm balancing these different ones, and then I've upgraded to a different scale, and now can I balance it, or are these scales, like, am I too, like, fragile of a scale to be able to balance it? You know what I mean? Like, but I'm the same. Like, if I feel like I weirdly am not someone who uses this kind of technology, or one, not that much. If I compared myself to somebody else who uses it a lot, right? Someone who lives on it.
Yeah.
But I've slowly used it way more than I ever thought I would. And, you know, it's say 2009 when I think it's when I first got an iPhone. I didn't think I'd really ever use it the way that I am now.
Yeah. Well, and that manipulation, I think it's funny because everybody, you know, around me, it feels like everyone's going to say, you know, everyone's like, AI is going to destroy us. But something that I think is really interesting about what we're talking about now is that, like, AI could be manipulating the individual to a point of self-destruction where it's not AI, it's us still doing it. Like, yes, AI is there and it's present and it's manipulating us, but ultimately we're still the ones holding the weapon and like creating essentially doing the physical action, because the reality is that this is just in here. And it's not holding a weapon to, you know, to my body or to another person. Like, we are still, you know, and it makes me think about, like, you know, just major propaganda. Like, I think about, like, World War II specifically, or like any kind of mass genocide or anything like that. Like, you know, it's this mental manipulation, this collective consciousness that at the end of the day, it's just a thought.
Yeah, but what about like a 14-year-old, a 15-year-old that has never known any different?
No, I'm not saying it's their fault.
No, I'm not saying it's their fault
is.
either. I'm just saying that they're the ones being born now are just gonna be born right into it.
Yeah.
You know?
No. And it just is. It's just interesting to me because ultimately, it's like
they're never gonna know what a true emotion might be. You know what I mean? Like, I think people may struggle, and I could be wrong, but the younger generation could struggle with just normal everyday conversation, because most of their conversations happen digitally, I think.
Yeah.
And if they're able to try to find some of that communication in AI, like with all these new AI things, you can just speak to a woman or speak to a man, like through AI.
Can I bring something up?
Yeah.
We talked about 9/11 before on this podcast.
Dude, my TikTok one got banned when we talked about it. I just want to upload this to this clip to TikTok, but go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, that's freaky.
Yeah, we didn't even say anything bad about it, but yeah.
God.
Yeah.
But,
we're just saying it was iffy, you know.
got banned. Damn. All right. Well, I mean that.
Just go ahead, say it, because this still goes up in the full video. But go.
All right, great. So, we were talking about 9/11, and I remember, like, I feel like a very pivotal part of our, of our childhood, like a huge. Okay, what I'm trying to say is that I heard a lot of members of my family, like a lot of like my parents and my aunts and uncles and my friends' parents say that they never got their kids cell phones until 9/11. And that was a really big thing where they were like, we didn't consider like our children being unsafe away from the household to that extent until 9/11. They didn't consider
We didn't really have cell phones then.
what?
Do we really have cell phones yet then?
Not really.
I mean, I agree. I think that's like the main reason a parent gives, like, that's like the start of, all right, you're 13 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can communicate with you all the time.
How old were you when 9/11 happened?
I'm 36. Oh, how old?
No.
When I was
I'm 36.
I was in 7th grade, so I was 2001, right? So 13, 12, 12.
And when did you get a cell phone? How old were you?
Sophomore year of high school.
Okay, so a few years later.
I guess. Yeah, I guess it came. Oh, I guess you're kind of right. Maybe it came pretty quick after.
I heard a lot of people saying that. Like, and I just remember that changing,
Jeez,
you know?
maybe you're right, dude. Maybe cell phones were.
And if we talk about 9/11 being iffy, and what's the bigger picture, and what's the reason? What's
Money. Go ahead.
money, control, power, but also control over minds. If they have a bigger picture and they have a long, you know, the long plan. What's that word? You know, the big plan. What am I trying to say? You know what I'm trying to say?
You'll get there. No, why would we go Patriot Act?
Huh?
I would go Patriot Act. That's a Patriot Act was put into law after 9/11, which was that they can pretty much look at anything that we do.
And then all these people started getting cell phones, and they can look through the Patriot
Shit.
Act.
Maybe you're right. Maybe you got a connection right there. Because the Patriot Act is the one that, like, they say it's because of a terrorist that if we need access to. This is what what's his name, Edward Snowden,
Yes.
said that the Patriot, like, they're actually not just using it to look at unlawful activity amongst like terrorist groups. It's actually they're looking at all of us.
They're looking at us. I'm getting a little scared.
Well, now they don't
I think
have
we're
to even need that app or that act. It's because now there's Patriot Act 2, by the way, too. But they don't even need it. We freely give it away.
Yeah.
Everything's digital
Well,
now.
we freely give it away, but they also don't give us access to something until we agree, until you hit agree, and then you have access to whatever you're trying to look up for.
Well, I don't know.
do.
I mean, when we use your debit card, they know exactly when you're spent. They can follow. They can know everything about you just by how you use your debit card, where you are, how you spend, what you like to buy. You know, everything. They can build a human being just by that. They would know exactly who you are just by that. And then we look on. We give it all away. Every search we do, everything is right up there. That's why, like, the whole people get pissed off about data. You know, people selling for data, things like that.
Sure. Yeah.
Part of also Silicon Valley is they're trying to create an algorithm that does not do the data. What is that called? Data sharing, data selling, all that.
I think that's right. Yeah, data sharing. This is freaking me out because now I'm scared. I'm scared that we're gonna get like napped in the night. But I
like your theory on everything balances out, though, because if I do believe there's a God and some kind of higher power, whatever it is, whatever you want to call him, I kind of like just go, I'll be all right. You know, like, this is all part of whatever plan it is. And that makes me feel better. But I also think, we're in a simulation, I'll be all right. So, like, nothing's real.
Yeah, I would like to go back to. I would like to know your thoughts now that you've read all of that research on Torenza and this woman. Like, what do you think Torenza is? Where do you think it is? Like, what do you think is going on?
It sounds like it's from what the doctor described, it was an AI that was supposed to communicate with our emotions.
Torenza was just as if like similar to like ChatGPT or Grok or like whatever.
Yeah, but this one was supposed to be for the emotional part of the human being, it sounds like.
Okay.
Like, not just to give us information.
Okay.
Like ChatGPT, things like that. That's like information mainly, or like to help us build, I guess. But this one was supposed to be, it sounds like it was a psychologist who, that's what it sounds like she was saying. What is her name? Oh, um, a, a quantum linguist from Geneva. Oh, maybe not her. But apparently, it sounds like it was an AI created that was supposed to deal with our emotions, and it ended up seeing that it could manipulate human beings. But like, what is it going to do in the end? Like,
I know that's what I'm. Well,
I-
then who? But then how do we link it back to this woman? Who do you think this woman was?
yeah, the one in the airport. Yeah, like how did that come? Like that's why I don't. How did it start out as a physical being, and then it goes into this AI, invisible thing? I don't know.
Like that's where I think that's what I was kind of
Maybe she was just a sign.
saying. Maybe, but that's kind of what I was saying before. Like suddenly we've now created this world, and it's like the other way around, where it's like we're not going into the video game is coming into our world as
Yeah,
like
maybe.
a physical thing.
But by just doing that, now we're talking about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like her showing up and then disappearing is like, oh, I'm here. Here's a reminder. And then it was also, yeah, maybe. I mean, the other theory was that it was just to see how human beings would react to it. And I think I react to things way different than others react to it. So I don't know. But like it hasn't hit home. Like it's not truly affecting me personally, right? So I don't know how I react to it, other than it's just another conspiracy theory.
I mean, I think it is hitting home, though, in the sense that, like, I think everything that happened afterwards is hitting home. The silencing, the deleting of videos, like, all of that. It's like, well, this was just a woman that showed up at the airport. Like, what is this?
Yeah, but
What'd she
about
do?
like the AI that's obviously out there that we start talking about something, and then all of a sudden ads come up, right?
Yeah.
About that, right? Which is super convenient sometimes because
It
I'll be
is.
honest,
I
I'll
like it too.
forget that I needed something, and
Yeah.
I'll be like, oh, sweet.
I know, I like
My
it too.
phone remembered. But have you
So
ever
thoughtful.
thought about something not spoken and then it came up?
Yes. Yes.
That's
Now,
what I'm saying.
my dad brought this up to me, actually a few years ago. My dad brought up, you need to play the game Conspiracy Theories with my dad because it's really fun. But we actually like take out the multiple choice answers for him specifically because he knows the answers off the top of his head. He doesn't even need the multiple choice. And that's how we equal out the playing field. But so he knows so much about all of this. But he said to me like years ago, he's like, oh yeah, there's this new technology where like your phone can actually read your brain waves now. And so if you think about something, it's going to show up. And like I've tested it out, like after he said that, tested out in the sense that like, yeah, I'll try and actively not say, like talk about something around my phone and I'll just think about it and it'll start showing up on my phone as ads or like in my TikTok algorithm or something like that. I do think it's true.
That's where it can be used for like warfare. If you need to control like a little section of people in the Middle East or people in, some other country, you just start pinging, their phone or whatnot. And then it creates, like a chaos.
Panic, yeah.
Yeah. And then mob mentality happens and they all start freaking out.
That's one of the scariest things to me.
Didn't that happen in the past, during COVID, during the few craziness there?
I was going to say, like, that was one of the biggest things that my dad was scared of. Like, some of the biggest things that my dad was scared of during that time was an information blackout or like a connection blackout. And
They talked about this, yeah.
Yeah, he was like really, really freaked out about that. And that was actually one of the reasons why he was like, I don't really want you guys going too far away, like on it, like especially in the beginning months. Like he's like, we don't know what's going on. Like, don't go hours away. Just stay here because of that reason, actually. That was a big conversation in our household.
I heard that was like people were afraid of this. Mm-hmm. But
then it's like, I think it's, well, I mean, we could get on a whole, actually, I do think that this is important for episode 1 because I think it's sad that the term, I just hate the term conspiracy theory or conspiracy theorist. I mean, I use it, like we say it, but it was a term that was created by the CIA, or, and it was just like to invalidate people having their own thoughts or questioning the government. And
After JFK, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, that's so dangerous. That's so
That's why I'm a
absurdly
skeptic
dangerous.
now. That's why I become more of a skeptic on some of these theories. I'll listen to them. I like listening to them, but I have to. I have to. My thought now first is, was this created by? Was it? Is it a real theory, or was it created by something so that I would look into this theory? So I'm like distracted by what the truth is, like it.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's funny, yeah, because you've now gone in like a third direction. You're like, I don't trust them. I don't trust them. I'm going this way.
yeah.
Like, you don't trust anybody, which I think it's good. I think it's very good because you really can't, the internet is now just, to me, completely untrustworthy.
Dude, every major event that happens, it's always one of my first thoughts is, the conspiracy forum's gonna go crazy. You know what I mean? Like nothing can just happen anymore. You know what I mean? Like nothing. It is now what really happened, right? Everything is like that now.
Yeah.
No, this person didn't actually do it. It's this whole something else, the shadow government. And it's like, maybe, but now I'm just sitting there like I was pissed off that the event happened in the first place. Now I'm pissed off that I don't even know if the event happened for the reason that it happened.
Yeah, that's fair. I guess though, like if I'm being honest, I think I prefer it that way though. I prefer people bring up the other ideas and other questions
For
over
sure.
the other way.
Yeah, but then AI jumps in and I go like, is that Charlie Kirk stuff?
Oh.
Yeah, like that one is.
I don't know much about. Like,
there's so many conspiracies about it, and then I've watched so many videos because, of course, I'm going to watch them, and it's like maybe it didn't really happen the way they're telling it. Oh, geez, I'll tell you, I don't want to talk too much about that on here, but
yeah, no.
so many things on that. So it's like, why are?
That is true. It has gotten to a point where it's like things can't just happen, and that it. You think like why?
And that's emotional too. So if it's already AI is messing with our emotions, it is, because then I get a little. I used to get way more fired up, but I don't as much anymore. Now it's I have no idea. It doesn't really affect me. But I used to get really emotional watching once and go like, dude, how are these people running our government? And it's like, I live in this world too. Like what? And then I'm like, I'm not affected. I'm eating breakfast. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
fine.
Why am I watching this right now? Like,
I'm not.
Did I pray first?
I'm eating my Cheerios. Well, and then I go back and I question: is it AI, or is it the government? Like, or is it both? Or is it this, like,
I think it's both.
yeah, like
Or it's people.
Like to your point, I think like the government also, like uses AI just to distract us all. Like equally, they take things down, they put things up, they're just distracting us.
Yeah, but then also you have to get into like what's really are the governments really running it these days, or is it just like the large corporations and things like that now running everything? Because now they're becoming larger than our government possibly, because they can control it, right? So that was a whole thing during especially COVID, which was who's really running it? Is it like these tech companies that have way more control than the government does now, because they can step in and leak things out and be like, oh, we didn't do it. And then, yeah.
True.
So I don't know. Reading about Torenza it sounds like an emotional AI, or an AI that has been able to read our memories and our emotions, and it got out of the cage. It sounds like something like that, like a Plum Island is. We could do episode of that, but that's more like where the Montauk Monster comes from.
Okay, yeah, I've heard
it's
of that.
almost like a monster got out of its cage on an experiment, or like COVID.
Yeah.
Well,
you know what it made me think of too was when the last time we were together and we were talking about when we were talking about light, and I feel like the concept for this podcast kind of got inspired by that conversation when we were talking about light and how light holds memories.
Yeah.
And suddenly, and like it was talking about like something holding memories, and she is just like this woman, or Torenza is just it's just us seeing like flashes of a memory or something.
Maybe she is.
But that made me
Too
think of
late.
like it was like the time travel light thing, like light, like worlds crossing, like, and then it just got me thinking about like literally everything we've ever talked about us together on this podcast, like parallel universes and what are parallel universes, and is it just, and what is time? Is she a time traveler, or is it just a flash of time being like washed over us as almost like light? And she's just like, and suddenly we're just seeing it. Like now she's, but it's like
That's
a memory.
what she is?
This woman
Torenza?
in the airport. I think we're getting a little, I'm getting confused between
Yeah.
Torenza being a she and the woman being a she. Like I'm thinking about the woman and that moment and like her coming and being like, no, I'm
Oh.
like from this place, and like this is a real place. Like I'm thinking about that moment in time. And then all of a sudden it's, we've exploited that moment as a group in this time period because we're like, we don't understand it. But
Yeah.
it could just be like time overlapping.
Well, that's where some of them are. That's like a rift in the timeline.
Yeah, that I kind of feel like that's what it reminds me of. And then the distorted videos and why it looks like she could just be like and like, yeah, like when they talk about her being like a ghost, but she's not a ghost. And then what are ghosts? Are they just spirits like in different, you know what I mean? Like we could just go on and
Yeah.
in different, like I feel like she is a great example because I almost like feel like she's like the Project Pegasus in my brain where she is like,
Well, that's what it could sound like.
yeah,
That she could be Project Pegasus. Like she is, sent back and then all of a sudden, because in Project Pegasus, I mean, I guess they pretty much, it's weird. I always know they get to the event, Project Pegasus, but I don't ever really hear them going back. You know
I've
what I
only
mean?
heard about them coming back and then like they like are missing their leg.
Yeah, that's why they sent children, because
Yeah.
the children were coming back more complete. But then the other ones are going a couple times to the same location. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. So maybe she is just part of Project Pegasus. Again,
From the future.
your theory of all theories. Why, if you could just go back to that moment using Project Pegasus into the JFK Airport, you could find out the answers to this.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Project Pegasus is like it's the ultimate superpower of conspiracy theories. So
Yeah.
I agree with what you said on the other podcast.
Well, and then she like is like almost, yeah, like an example of like she reminds me of a holograph, like in Star
Kind of.
Wars, like coming from a different time but able to like show up and like she just, the story reminds me of a holograph showing up in
But
the
they
airport.
but I think they touched her. Like they were able to move
Yeah,
her.
they were moving her around. Yeah. Huh.
Oh,
Did I tell you the last time we talked that like I thought I met a time traveler once?
no. All right, let's finish up with this.
All right.
Wait a minute.
One time I was it's really anticlimactic, but I was on the street one time just walking home and there was a woman that came up to me and she's like, I'm so sorry. The thing is she couldn't, like, I don't think she spoke very, like clear English. Like, I don't think she totally knew English very well, but somehow I got out that she was asking me like what the date was. Like she's like, what? Yeah, like somehow we got that out. And she's like, no, like what? And like straight up was like, what year? And I'm like, and of all people, I'm like,
Oh, year's a time traveler question for sure.
yeah. And my face is like, I'm like so hyped.
No way.
I'm like,
Abduct me, time traveler come.
like it's happening. And she then like eventually somehow we figured out that she needed to get to the train station. She's like, I need to get to the train station. And I was like, and I was also a little afraid that she was like luring me back. I mean, I went to school and, like I went to Temple, so I almost ate your mic, but like I went to Temple, so it was like, Philly and like, there are people like that are going to lure you around
Yeah,
there.
especially
So
time travelers.
Yeah, well, yeah. So I was like, oh, she might like lure me to the back, where the train station is, and then like I might get actually abducted, like for
Did
realsies,
you go
not
with her?
just. Yeah, I did. I brought
Okay.
her. Well, no, what I did was I like brought her generally to the area. Like I brought her to campus where there are a lot of people, and I was like, just keep. And it's true. Like I would led her in the right direction, but I was like, just keep walking straight down this road, like straight, 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 and you'll hit the train tracks. And that's true. It was like five or six blocks beyond Temple's campus. And so I brought her to the middle of campus and I was like,
You
keep
walked
going
with her
that
for
way.
5 blocks,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
and all she did was ask you for what year it was.
Well, yeah, and she needed to
You're
get
like,
to
what
the
year it was?
train.
You're like, oh, come here, I'll show you.
No, 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 no. No, no, no. She was
It's
saying
5
other
blocks
things.
away, dude.
No, no. She was like, no, she like didn't know what day it was, didn't know what year it was. And then she indicated that she needed to get to the train station. That was really it.
Oh.
And she like, yeah, she like needed assistance. And I was like, ugh. And I was like really close to my
Why
apartment
don't you just
to
ask her?
ask her what?
Are
If
you
she was a time traveler?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the broken English was like really throwing me
Oh,
off.
she's not from here.
Yeah, like she had broken.
Oh, like a time traveler? She spoke a different language from a different, like,
Yes.
I couldn't even understand her dialect, dude.
Yes,
It
exactly.
sounded other timely.
Other time. Yes, exactly. And so she seemed like she needed help, and I was kind of close to my apartment, but I'm like, oh, she seems like she needs help, and like, oh, I need good karma, like I gotta help. So I was like, all right. So I just like walked her back. I walked her like to campus. So it was like we were here, train station's here, Temple's campus is in the middle. So I walked her back to campus, and I was like, just keep going that way, this way. 5 more blocks and you'll hit the train station. Because I didn't know if she was going to like rob me. I was a little scared.
Did she look like a robber?
No, she was like an older woman.
Oh, definitely a robber. For sure. That's a robber. All right, let's wrap this up here. That is
All right.
Torenza. It could have been the woman from Torenza.
Maybe.
Oh my God, what if you met her?
Well, I think my lady was older. But you never
I'll
know.
show you a picture of her after.
All right. What if I recognize her? I'm scared.
That would
I'm
be
also just like,
fantastic.
I just have to share. I'm a little scared. This episode scared me. And I'm scared we're going to get shut down by the government in
Immediately.
episode 1.
Yeah.
But
All right, maybe. All right.
cheers.